Okay, so here we are going to learn the last phylum of animal kingdom, which are the vertebrates, okay? Which are the characteristics of this phylum is that they have, or we have, an internal skeleton, okay, made of bones, and a spinal cord, okay, or spinal column, and we have a brain. The other animals we've seen before, the invertebrates, haven't got brain. They have nerves and they have like name like little brains, okay, but they are not brains. They are like ganglion, okay. They have they have nerves, okay? They have nerves with some ganglions that are like a brain, but they are not a brain, okay? So vertebrates have brain, spinal cord, and internal skeleton, okay? And the phylum vertebrates is divided into classes, and these classes are divided into orders. Here are the classes, here are the orders. And now we are going, first of all, I want you to know two things. What is poikilothermic and homeothermic? Humans, I think that I explained this to you before in class, okay? Humans are homeothermic. Homeothermic, okay, means that we always have the same temperature. So, when outside is 10 degrees, our temperature is 36, 37 degrees. We are always with 36, 37 degrees. When we go outside and the temperature is really high, like 42 degrees, okay, our body is not going to be in 42 degrees. We are going to be 36, 37. We can regulate our temperature and we can maintain it constant, okay? So that is homeothermic, okay, homeothermic. And poikilothermic are the animals which can't regulate their temperature. In the case of a worm, for example, in invertebrates are poikilothermic, and vertebrates are, some of them are poikilothermic. Homeothermic ones are mammals. We can maintain our temperature, and birds, they can maintain their temperature. But reptiles, amphibians, fishes, and the rest of invertebrates can't maintain their temperature. For example, the temperature of a fish, okay, is going to be the same as the temperature of the water where the fish lives. If the water is 10 degrees, the temperature of the fish is going to be 10 degrees. And if the water is 25 degrees, the temperature of the fish is going to be 25 degrees. They cannot regulate the temperature. They cannot maintain a constant temperature. Okay, poikilothermic, homeothermic. So we are going to see the characteristics of each group. Okay, and then we are going to see the classes of the groups. So fishes. Oh, poikilothermic are fishes, okay? I'm going to this one. The last one of each one is poikilothermic or homeothermic. Poikilothermic, and poikilothermic. The only ones that are homeothermic are birds and mammals. Then, they can be oviparous or viviparous, okay? When they born from an egg or when they're born from their mother. So, oviparous, and this one are viviparous. They born from their mother, not from an egg. Okay, viviparous is here. I haven't written here oviparous, but you should know that all animals in the world, all animals and invertebrates are oviparous, but mammals are viviparous. Okay, that's all. So, fishes, they have gills, branchias, because they live inside the water, obviously, and they have fins, aletas. These are the characteristics of fishes, and we can find two orders of fishes: bony fishes and cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous fishes are sharks. Their bones are made of cartilage, and the bony ones are the rest fishes in general. Rest of the fishes, okay, not shark fishes. Their spines, their bones, which are really bone, which are skeleton, are made of bones. Okay, cartilaginous skeleton and bony skeleton. Then, some fishes in the past evolved. Okay, some of them evolved to amphibians. Amphibians can get out of the water. Why? Because they breathe with lungs. Okay, fishes breathe with gills, and these ones breathe with lungs. Reptiles breathe with lungs, birds with lungs, and mammals also with lungs. Okay, amphibians have a moist skin with no covering. Okay, they can live outside of the water, but they have no covering on their skin. So if they spend a lot of time outside of the water or in a dry place, they can get dry. They can lose all the water of the body. Okay, the water of their body can evaporate and they lose it because they haven't got a covering. And you maybe are thinking, a covering. Okay, we have a covering, which is the skin. The skin, our skin has a corneous layer that avoid the water evaporates. Okay, in our case, but in the case, for example, of reptiles, they have scales, escamas. They have a covering. So some of them evolved and get out of the water. They developed glands, but their skin has no covering, so they cannot live far away from the water. And we have two orders: frogs and toads, okay, and salamanders. Salamanders have tail, okay, and frogs and toads haven't got tail. Then reptiles. Some of these amphibians, okay, evolved and they developed scales for covering their skin, so they can live far away from the water. This is one of the most important characteristic. They have they have scales covering the skin, so they don't get dry. We have 4 orders of reptiles: lizards, tortoises, crocodiles, and snakes. They all have scales. Then some reptiles evolved and they developed, they transformed their scales into an special scales, which are feathers. Okay, birds have feathers in order to fly and in order to maintain their temperature. So feathers, in fact, are modified scales. And what about birds? Okay, we have several orders of birds. We have ostriches, penguins. I have written here some of the most different. Okay, ostriches, penguins, kiwi birds, and birds in general. Okay, flamingos. That's all about birds. And finally, we have mammals. Mammals have hair on their skin, okay, for maintaining their temperature. They have hair in general, okay. They have lungs. They breathe by lungs. You know that there are aquatic mammals like dolphins. Okay, I have written here dolphin. They have lungs, and I have written here dolphin or whales. Okay, or manatees. These are mammals. Okay, they feed of the breast milk of their mother, and also mammals obviously produce milk. I forgot to write it here. The newborn feed of breast milk. Okay. They have hair, and the dolphin. Okay, dolphins and whales are marine animals, but they are not fishes. Okay, they haven't got gills. They breathe by lungs. They have an spiracle, okay, on their back, and they have to go up and for breathing, and then they go down. Okay, they are mammals. They are viviparous, and dolphins and whales feed of breast milk. In the case of mammals, we have three orders. Three: monotremes, marsupials, and placentals. Okay, I'm going to put you in placentals are most of the mammals. Okay, marsupials are the ones who live in a marsupium, which is a bag in the mother's body. Okay, and monotremes are platypus, ornithorhynchus, and echidnas, which look like an hedgehog. Okay, so I'm going to start by the most simple, okay, but the less evolved. Monotremes are mammals because they feed off the breast milk of their mother. Okay, but these ones are not viviparous. Here I told you that they are viviparous, but these ones are not viviparous. Okay, these ones come from birds that evolve into monotremes. Okay, and if you take a look for a platypus, they have a bird beak. Okay, and they born from an egg. Okay, they are oviparous. Monotremes are oviparous. They born from an egg, but after the newborn feed off breast milk. So they are mammals because they feed off breast milk. Then oviparous. Okay. Then we have the marsupials. When monotremes evolved, some of them evolved into marsupials. What happens in the marsupials? Okay. The marsupials, when the fertilization take place in the uterus, okay, it takes place in the uterus, the embryo comes out when it's not developed, and it goes to the marsupium. Okay, the marsupium. If this is the kangaroo, I'm going to draw a kangaroo, but it's going to be a bit the tail. Okay, and here the hand, and here the head. Oh, it's horrible. Okay, the kangaroo has here the marsupium. Okay, and the ears. Well, more or less. The marsupium, when the newborn borns, okay, it is not developed, so it has to be stored here. The embryo, okay, the embryo is here, and the kangaroo has a little breast, okay, a little mama, where the fetus, okay, the fetus or the embryo, when it's not developed, can feed off breast milk. Okay, the mama or the breast is inside the marsupium, and here is an embryo which is feeding off that breast. But when it borns, okay, the uterus is here. Here is the uterus. Okay, here is the uterus. So here in the uterus is where fertilization take place, and here borns a embryo. It's a fetus, okay? Un feto, ¿vale? Lo que nace, aquí se produce la fecundación del óvulo, ¿vale? Entonces, nace un feto sin desarrollar. Y ese feto, la madre lo mete en la bolsa. Y en la bolsa está la glándula mamaria. ¿Ok? It borns a fetus. The mother takes the fetus inside the marsupium. And here is the mammary gland. And the fetus feeds off the gland. Okay. So complicated, no? Yeah. So here is where when placentals come. Marsupials are most of the of the mammals that live in Australia and Tasmania. We have the Tasmanian devil, koalas, kangaroos, marsupial wolves, marsupial mouses, marsupial... all of them are marsupials, okay? They only live in Australia, except for Sahuayas that lives in South America, okay? They extinct in the rest of the world because placentals came and they were in advantage. In placentals, what happens is that when fertilization occurs in the uterus, this is the uterus, okay? When fertilization occurs in the uterus, okay, we have here an embryo, but there's an organ called placenta, okay, that develops here, okay, and it gives feeding, okay, it gives food for the embryo. It passes from the mother blood, okay. The mother's blood has nutrients and oxygen, and that passes to the embryo. And when this embryo develops, what borns is a, oh, this is horrible, okay, but what the newborn is going to be a completely developed animal, okay. The newborn or the born animal is not completely developed, and it has to grow in the marsupium. But in the case of placentals, the newborn, the animal that borns, is fully developed because of the placenta. This animal can live inside the uterus because the placenta is feeding it, okay? But this one, there's no placenta, so it has to born and go to the marsupium. And so, maybe the most difficult of this is the difference between marsupials and placentals, okay? But this is all about vertebrates.